challenge is called 8 Caillou Interpreters HQ9+. Your task is to implement a simple interpreter for the notorious esoteric language HQ9+. That will work for a single character input. Apparently this HQ9+ is a programming language. Feel free to follow that link. I've never heard of this before. It's a joke language with 4 instructions. So, yeah. In our case, it looks like we have to only implement 3 instructions. If the input is H, we'll return the hello world. If the input is Q, return the input itself, which would be code in this case. If the input is the number 9 in string form, they really should have been using double quotes here instead of single quotes. Return the full lyrics of 99 bottles of beer. It should be formatted like this. And then they have a text area with the text in there. And so, yeah, I mean, pretty simple. This could have been challenge 1 probably. But yeah, go ahead and bang it out anyway. We do work that we don't like to, right? We just get jobs done. So let's do that. When you're back, I'll do mine with a series of if statements. I should note too, there was one other note in here. For everything else, don't return anything. So in our case, we program in C#, we will return null. So there you have it. If code equals, I'll go back up so you can see the instructions. If code equals H, make sure you're using double quotes here again because we're comparing strings. Code is of string type. Single quotes in C# denote characters or chars as they're typed out, char. We'll say return the text, hello world, exclamation mark. Okay, next one, if code equals the letter Q, capital Q, I'm not doing any kind of case insensitivity here, return the input itself, just return code. And then finally, if code equals to the number 9 in text form, return this mess. And when I first did this, I copied this text exactly and pasted it in here. And it was unfortunate that when it ran this test down here, see this one with number 9, it was telling me false because it didn't match what they had in their text. And that's a failure of this test. They should have made those two. They should make the test check what they tell you to make it say, you know what I mean? So I would recommend grabbing the text from the test case itself and not from this text area that they provided. That's unfortunate. And because this is just a big mess, I'm going to actually implement it in another function. We'll make it private because nobody outside this class needs to know about it. Private static, it needs to return the string. I'll call it get 99 bottles lyrics. And then it's simply going to return this mess. I'll copy it right from the test case. Feel free to try the text area like I did. It didn't work for me. It said it was different. Copied that. Paste it in. Semicolon to end. That way I don't have to pollute my main method up here. I'll say return those lyrics. And then finally, if you recall, they said if none of these codes were recognized, that we were to simply return null. And really, that should cover it. Let's go ahead and give this a test. Solutions, yeah, wow, what a garbled mess there. Ugly. Yeah, I think some of the mismatch happened with these. You'll notice in here they got the new line character. I don't know if it was problems with that. Who knows? I wasn't about to compare these by eye or even load them up with a diff tool and I just don't care enough to do that. It's kind of a dumb trolley challenge, but that's okay. So yeah, basically, some work with conditional statements if you weren't already familiar with that. If, provide a Boolean condition, and then take some action. We know that we could use curly braces to define a scope for this if we wanted to write multiple lines that correspond to the condition. In my case, they're one-liners here, so I don't need curly braces. They're automatically tied to the condition. If I had tried to write another line beneath, it would be executed regardless of if this condition met or not. You know what I mean? So even if the code were and I tried to do some other stuff. I mean, you wouldn't do other stuff with a return that ends it, but you know what I mean. Imagine there are multiple statements here that don't return. Then you're going to hit that next line there. So be aware of that. Make sure you use some braces if you have more than one statement to make. But really, yeah, there's not much else to say about that. I figured let's say something about if statements. Pretty basic stuff. Hopefully you cranked it out and didn't get caught up trying to make these two strings match like I did. Well, I mean, didn't take very long to realize it was wrong, but it was annoying. So we'll hit the larger collection, provided that goes well. Looks like it did. Yep. Impressive, huh? Okay. And then go ahead and hit submit. And submitting, yeah, same kind of thing. They just slapped the whole text in here. You can do that. It's pretty much what we did. Oh wow, this guy did it line by line. And counted down. That's kind of, I mean, it's overkill, but it's kind of fun that he did it with a loop. Almost like it goes when you sing the song, So yeah, had some fun with that. But yeah, not much else to say about that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next challenge.